SolidWorks PDM has some great new enhancements in 2026, including the automatic synchronization of vault views. We've all thought about the dreaded situation where a user checks files out to make changes, then ends up out of the office or even left the company. And what do we do with the changes that user has made? In the past, we had options like undo checkout to get the file back onto the server and off of the user's local view, but the problem with this solution is that any work that has been done by the user locally is now lost and cannot be retrieved. Now, in PDM 2026, the Vault will automatically synchronize modified checked out files to the archive server where that local view is connected. Let's find out how we could take advantage of this new functionality in this PDM tech tip. The first thing to ensure that you have set is both folder and state permissions for any user who should be able to utilize this new functionality. Looking at Engineer A and Engineer B, we can see they both have the folder permissions can transfer ownership of files checked out by current user and can transfer ownership of files checked out by other users. The first permission only allows the user to transfer their own files from one machine to another. For example, if you had PDM on a computer at work as well as a laptop you travel with, you can now easily transfer ownership from one machine to another, commonly seen in the checked out in column of your local view. The second permission allows the user to take ownership from other users, similar to the example we'll see here with Engineer A and Engineer B. Now that both folder and state permissions are set, let's see what it looks like to take ownership of another person's local data. We can see here Engineer A has the enclosure checked out and is going to make some design changes locally. Once the changes have been made, Engineer A is so excited to be done that they forget to check these files back in, and since it's the holiday, Engineer A is going to take a vacation. When Engineer B gets back into the office on Monday, they notice they need this enclosure, but it's still checked out by Engineer A, who's still at the beach. Previously, an undo checkout would revoke ownership from Engineer A, losing all of the local data. Now, in PDM 2026, Engineer B can transfer the ownership to themselves while maintaining the changes from Engineer A. This is because PDM automatically synchronizes the changes made by Engineer A to the archive server where the local view is connected. This allows Engineer B to recover the local changes made by Engineer A, check the files in, and continue working on the files without having to disturb Engineer A's nice vacation. The same process can be applied via the same user. For instance, if Engineer A started working on this file on a laptop at home via VPN, they could check the file out and work on it, and if they forget to check the file back in on their laptop, when they get back into the office and logged into their PDM on their workstation, they could transfer the ownership to themselves from their laptop to their workstation. This is why the two columns checked out by and checked out in can be very useful to understand who has ownership of the file and what machine the file was checked out on. This new functionality of transfer ownership will save a ton of headaches when it comes to retrieving data that was created locally by a user and not checked back in, thanks to PDM 2026 automatically synchronizing the vault views. If you found this tip helpful, check out our SolidWorks PDM admin courses, as well as our What's New Tech tips to learn more about data management and what's to come in SolidWorks 2026. Thanks for watching.